All right, well, do what you can, lovelies, and see how we get on. Right, over to you, Patricia.
Thank you.
On the camera.
Lovely. So let's get started with a great warm-up. Mobilize your joints, your muscles, circulation boost, get you nice and warm. So first of all, we're going to sit forwards in the chair and think about your lovely posture. Now, because we're week 12, some of you will be able to stand up straight away. So I will come up to standing. If you're not at week 12, if you've not long joined us, or if you're not feeling up to it today, then feel free to stay seated until you're ready to come to standing, or stay seated. We're going to march our heels still. So lifting the heels one at a time to get your circulation going. I'm going to come up to standing, so feet behind, big push up, pump your heels, walk around to the back of your chair, wherever you're going to have some support. And we come into the march again. So just a heel lift, actually, rather than a march to start with. So it's slightly different. A heel lift is just literally keeping your foot on the floor, lifting the heel one at a time to get that blood pumping up through to your thighs, heart, your brain, the whole of your body. Now, if you've been quite active already this morning, you might not need too long to warm up, but we have to set this ready for everybody. So some of you might have just got out of bed, so we have to warm you up properly. Relax your shoulders, so drop your shoulders down, holding the muscles in the belly, and so pulling in as if you had a little corset on, and just add in a little bit of tension there, but so that you can breathe. And then let's add in the arms. And don't underestimate marching and lifting the heels. It's a really good movement, especially if you've got a great posture, you've tucked your bottom in, belly's in, pelvic floor as well. You can always work on your pelvic floor. Breathe, lovely breaths in and out. Excellent. Okay, and now we take our feet wider, coming into some mobilization, some movements to get you stretched and warm. So hands down, let's take a lean to the side and use the muscles in your belly and your core to lift you up, soften through the knees. So sliding down, and then we can start to lift that elbow on the opposite side. Lift and lean, and trying to go right down to the side, not forwards at the moment. So that means that we're focusing on the side seams, on the waist, the ribs. Breathe in, try not to hold your breath. Really enjoy this stretch. It's quite a nice stretch. There's something we don't do, is it? Unless we're actually really focusing on stretching out and warming up.
Make sure your feet are nice and wide, so you feel nice and steady when you slide to one side then the other.
Always that stable base of support, a wide stand or even a stagger if you're not quite sure, if you feel better that way. Okay, let's slightly change it down to the front of the thigh and not the bottom.
Your leggings look mental.
They're a bit fuzzy.
Yeah.
Sliding down, just one side for now. Down and down and back up, and then let's swap sides. So down the other thigh. Ooh, where can you feel that? So really notice your body. I think it really helps, because then you kind of think, oh, that's a bit stiff, or that's more mobile than the other side. And it might be something that you need to work on every day before you kind of start your day and start your activities. Okay, back to march. So it's more than a heel lift now. And we're going to work through, and we'll come to a stop and do it properly, but I want you to really focus on your feet. So lifting the heels and pointing the toes as if you were a little pony. Okay, so working through the whole of the foot. And we do that by rolling from the heel to the toe. Feel the whole of the base of the foot, the sole of the foot. And then as you put the feet down, toes, balls of the feet, instep, heel. Okay, so no kind of flat-footedness. Lovely. Swinging those arms, opposite arms to knees. Much easier when you're standing because it's a much more normal movement, isn't it? Okay, hold it there. Let's go to the feet. So I want you to work through those feet. So lift the knee. You kind of press the knee forwards, lift the heel, and then work through the whole of the foot. Lift the heel, press down and spread the toes out, either in your shoes or just spread them out on the floor. So feel them opening. And we just get some mobility through the whole of the foot. It's really important to not have stiff feet and toes so that we can bend.
Julia C, ask your friend in the green t-shirt to join in.
And let's watch feet.
Sat down with a cup of tea.
Really? Nice. That'd be me. I'd be
You look
watching.
great, guys.
How does it feel? One foot to the other. Is that okay? A little bit of creak, a little creak, a little crack. It's fine. Spread your toes out. Lovely. Good. And then back to your march. So you should start to feel a little bit warmer. We're going to come and do a little bit of an Elvis impression now. So knee circle. And that's why we moved the feet first, because you need kind of mobile feet to be able to do this. So soften through both of the knees. And if you're in seated, you can still do it, but not so much.
You might need to, yeah.
So go in one direction, let's go the other. That feels a bit odd. Whoop. But we're working the hip as well. So we're opening the hip as well here. Ankle, you might feel it in the ankle. Okay, let's change sides. So little Elvis knee. So you're making a circle with the knee. Feel that movement through the ankle and through the hip. Keep that supporting leg nice and soft, slightly bent. And then let's change direction and go the other way.
Can't resist an Elvis noise with this though.
And a lip. Oh no, I sound like I sounded like Frenchman then.
We get nothing done in our office, you know that, don't you?
And back to a march. Oh, great. If you're sitting, have a little, feel free to just have a little rest for a moment. If you need to, just when we're doing lots of legs, because it's quite tough on your hip flexors. Okay, next up, little rotation. So hips are facing your chair. You know this one. Bend your knees and slide the hand across and come to the center. Slide the hand across, or if you're sitting, you can hold onto your elbows, or you can slide your hands down your thighs and back up again. Okay, so lots of variations, and use as much support as you need to. So if you need to press on the chair, that's fine. But for some of you, now you might feel a bit more confident that you can let go. And maybe you just need to hover your hands above the chair, so it's there in case you need it. And you know, if you want to let go, if you want to put an extra chair in just to allow you that to have less support, then do that. Just because you've added a chair in doesn't mean that you're more dependent on it. It might just be there for safety. Okay, and back to your march. Excellent. Okay, feet nice and wide into our shoulders. So shoulder raise and lower. Oh, that's nice. Lift and lower, but this time press those fingers down and try and lower the shoulders a bit more. Pull the muscles in the belly in again. Lift and lower. Can you lift a bit more? So a big squeeze up and a big press down, and then focus on sending the bottom of the shoulder blades down too. Really getting some movement through the shoulders, the neck, feeling a lovely stretch there. And then let's do a quick whole march before we come back to shoulders. Excellent. If you've just joined us, join in with the circulation boost. You might just need to carry on moving when we move on a little bit. So feet wide into our shoulder circle. So up, right the way back and down. Hands come behind you. Up, circle, back and down. Up, circle, back and down. Lovely. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Fabulous. And then back to your march. Lovely. Good, good. And then one more ankle and hips, lower back. You're done. So coming back to feet, heel toe. So heel digs into the floor, the toes pull up. Lift the leg, lift the knee, toes point onto the floor, onto the same spot. Now, once you've got it, you don't need to look down. So heel,
In the
down,
eyes, in the eyes.
toes pull, toes down, knee pushes forward. So a big squeeze, excuse me, hiccups into around the ankle. Heel and toe. Heel, toe. Same in seated. Lovely. Good. And then let's swap sides. Swap legs, heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Are you holding on for dear life? Are you pressing, hovering? Pelvic floor, lots to think about the whole way through. So just adding in your awareness now and progressing. And you might still do the same movement, but it might be that progression. You feel stronger or you're supported less by what's around you. Okay, let's march. Now we're going to take it up a little bit. So if you've only just joined us, don't want you to come straight into endurance. You need to spend a few minutes marching. But we're going to come into endurance. So if you're in seated and you want to come into standing, now's the time. Big push up from the chair, pump your heels at the top, walk around the back of your chair. And moving into endurance, this means that you might get more out of breath, which is okay. Make sure you've got pumps and inhalers around and stop if you need to. So we're going to tap to the side, slightly forwards. Now, I haven't got a chair in front of me just so you can see what I'm doing, but you can have a chair in front. You could hold on. I'm adding opposite arms to make it a progressed move. So when we first started, we had hands down. Now we can really add on if you're able to.
I like throwing shape arms. There's some lovely shape arms going on here.
What, like a little pose?
Yeah, all sorts of shenanigans with arms.
Saturday Night Fever.
Love it. I think there's a couple of Gloria Gaynors in the room.
Oh.
There's some disco going on. Yeah, I can see you, Jackie. Yeah, you're looking good. And Shirley knocking it out.
We should do a YMCA, shouldn't we? But
we should do.
Maybe not in the March for now.
Mags is going for it as well.
She is. Arms up. If you don't want to do arms up, arms forwards. So anything with arms above your heart is going to make your heart work harder, which means you might get more out of breath. So if you're too out of breath, take your arms out, give them a shake, and just come to a little heel lift. Let's just come right down anyway.
Can you change
So
cameras?
in endurance, we build it up. We try and keep you at a level. So we want to keep you marching, but you need to have a little rest while you change movement. So we're going to step together. Step together, remembering that at that point when you're together, you'll be the most unsteady. But once we start getting into a rhythm, we're less unsteady, hopefully. You remember, you can be behind a chair. This is where you can add in arms, a little side lift, or a little bicep curl with a squeeze on in the hands, adding on to that resistance. If you want to add on brain gym, alternate arms. So we're just sidestepping, adding in arms. If you want to just, if you're not up to sidestepping, you could march on the spot and add in a little arm combo, kind of like shoulders up, shoulders down. Let's do that anyway. So join me, little heel lift, shoulders up, shoulders down, shoulders
and
up.
isn't it?
Again, if you don't want them to be above your head, shoulders out, shoulders down, still marching, still working your heart, still getting you out of breath a little bit. Remember, we want you at about 6. So 0 is you've just got out of bed, 10 is you've done a marathon. We need you to be able to speak to us and go, yep, I'm okay, I can manage this, I'm a bit out of breath, but I'm okay. Okay, just a heel lift, breathe. Well done. Okay, one of my favorites. They're all my favorites. So you keep marching, just watch. Side step, dip. So how do we do that? With my chair, side step, stick your bottom out, side step. Slide your hands across, you can join in. So it's quite a wide step, or a wider step than normal, if you can, but start small. And then you can add a bit of a wider step when you get your confidence. If not, stick with just the normal step. So this is working. Thighs, core,
Down and up,
glutes, everything.
down and up.
So we should see you like bobbing. If you are not happy to do all of this, you can just do a knee bend. If you're in the chair, everybody keep going. If you're in the chair, you could either just do a bunny hop or step and lean. Step and lean. So we're looking at opening out the hips, adding that lean. Using the big muscles in your bodies. And if you're in the garden, you know, you can use this to pick things up off the floor. Ooh, and back to your march. How are we doing? Are we okay? Give me a thumbs up if you're okay. Remember, you can always come to a little heel lift. This is up to you, so you know how you feel. Take a big breath. Ooh. Okay. Into some lunges. Now, normally I would get you to lunge to the front of your chairs, to the sides of your chairs. You can do that. I'm going to encourage you today to stand side on. So you've got less support if you feel comfortable, and you can hover and come back. Let's do single leg. So stay on the one leg. And remember, we're adding that distance if you can. So we're leaning forwards, we're landing on the heel, whole foot down, and then a press. So we're using power to press us back into that wide base of support. So a strong land, press back. And when we're stepping out, we've still got that wide base of support, yeah? So we're not narrow. I'm still steady here, push back. Step land, eye gaze is still forwards, so I'm not looking down. I'm looking forwards, maybe to like the corner of the room where the skirting board is. Come back, just lift the heels, because we're going to swap sides. Just lift the heels until you feel able to go again. Breathe. Ready to go again, other side. So move around to wherever you need to be. Step. So it's that stepping out. So you've got the wide base. Step back into wide base. Step. Use your arms if you want to. So opposite arms sometimes can help to balance. Big step. Press back. Big press. Press back. Press. Where's your eye gaze? How's your pelvic floor doing? How are the muscles in your core doing? Are you holding them in? Are you using them? If we kind of let it all go, then we're not using all of the systems in our body, all of the muscles to help support you. I'm hot. Are you hot? So this is going to make you strong, make your legs strong, allow you to reach, bend, lunge, etc. And let's just come to that wonderful heel lift. Breathe.
Have a drink of water as well whilst you're trying to settle down.
Well, we're going to step. So we're just going to step together, bringing your heart rates down in a controlled way. Okay, so you might be quite out of breath. We want you to come down gradually. So just a tiny leg lift. So just a knee lift.
Nice. Lynn's using her arms as well.
Fab. Yeah, you can still use your arms, but lower now, because we're bringing everything down. Oh, breathe and smile. You're halfway through, I think. Oh, yeah, you're halfway through. And some of you might go, that's the hard bit over, but for some of you, the balance or the strength is harder. So, okay, no arms. Just a step. You can shake your fingers out. Sometimes if you're doing a lot of work with arms, you can feel like you've got sausage fingers. So it helps to shake and wiggle those fingers. You can do a little jig if you want to. Lovely. Then we're going to hold it wide. Nice wide feet. All I'm going to do, no arms at the minute, is send my weight to one side. Send my weight to the other side. Lift the heel on the opposite side. This is the start of your sway. And then you can add arms to the side that you're leaning to. Lift, press the palms up. Lift, press the palms.
While she's teaching this, this is probably, I believe, one of the strongest exercises that you progress out of. This is like magic. So it's really important to practice swaying from one leg to the other.
And where's your eye gaze again? Are your shoulders down? Lovely. Okay, just one arm. One arm presses one side. And then when you come to the other side, the other arm presses.
And smile.
Yeah, you've got to smile.
There you go.
Press, press. And then we're going to do no arms. Just a lean, 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 and a lean, and then just a heel lift. Check your energy levels. How puffed out are you? Are you back to normal yet? Do you need a little bit longer to bring everything down? Hopefully, you'll be feeling okay. And then we're going to go on to balance. So do grab a quick drink as we move to balance. And then give me a thumbs up if you're all okay. Yeah, good. Excellent. Right, so you can do all of this in seated, but it's better if you're standing. We'll give you options for seated work. And again, I'm going to encourage you, if you've been here from week 1, to start letting go, or not letting go, reducing the pressure. So from 2 hands on, maybe just the fingertips, maybe just 2 fingers, maybe just 1 finger, or maybe just 1 hand holding, and then a hover, or just unsupported but close by. Okay, so they're your options, and that's how you progress in balance. And obviously, if you can do it for your homework, you'll be even better. So what are we going to do today? We're going to work on just a little march for now, just slow march. And we're going to start by adding a turn. So just march and watch. So I'm looking forwards. I'm going to turn my face. I'm going to look at my left side, and then I'm going to turn my body to meet, so my face body is in line. So I'm looking, facing the left. Then I'm going to look back to the front. That's confusing, isn't it? I'm going to look to the front, and then my body turns to meet my face, my head. Okay. Understand that? Then I'm going to look to my right, and then my body, I step to turn my body to face the same way. Now I'm only ever going to look to the front and the sides. I don't want you to face the back, because you need to see, and we need to see you. So turn your head, march around, so your head, body are facing the same way. This is not a fast march, okay? It's more balance than anything. So head turns, body turns to match. Head turns, body turns to match. Head turns, body turns, head turns. If this is too much for you, just turn your head. And also if you're seated, you can still march and just look to one side and then the other. Okay. Hold it there. We're going to do slightly different, but it's almost the same. I'm going to turn my body around, but I'm going to keep looking to the front. Okay, can you see the difference? And then I'm going to move my head. I'm going to turn my body to face the front while I'm still looking to the side. And then I bring my eye gaze to the front. So you're still marching. You're just turning your body first and then bringing your eye gaze in to meet. Turn your body, whoop, eye gaze, body, eye gaze, body, eye gaze. Last one, body, well, nearly last one. Eye gaze. How do you think then? Body, eye gaze. Good. Hold it there. How does that feel? Hopefully not too bad. Okay, coming behind your chair, you're going to take your feet wide and hover your hands or just press, and we're going to look to the side, and then we're going to look up to the ceiling, up and over in like a semicircle to the other side. Bring your eye gaze to the front, and we go to the other side. So I'm going to my right, and then I'm going to look up over to the ceiling, to the side, eye gaze to center. I'm going to my left, so eye gaze to left, up and over, to the side, and center. Last time, to the side, up and over, side, center. Okay, slightly different. We're going down, so we're going to look to the side, then we're going to look down to the floor, to the side, and center. And I'm going to go the other way. Side, down, to the other side, and center.
Nice work. I hope your necks and shoulders feel nice.
To the side, yeah. Down, side, center. Last one. To the side, down, to the side, and center. Good. And then come into just a heel lift. Fabulous. How does that feel? Write it down and let us know. Are you more wobbly going up? Most people are, I think. We're not used to looking up at ceilings, are we? But we're used to looking down at floors. It's all about that brain connection to your body and your space around you. Okay, so we're going to, I would like you to, so by now we would be walking around the chairs. So if you're able to, I want you to start walking around the chair. If you're not, just turn. So walk and turn on the spot. But I'm walking around my chair. I'm making sure that I'm not going to trip over it. And then I'm going to come behind my chair. Now, if there's two of you in the room, you have to kind of choreograph it. So you might have to
There's
follow
lots of
each
routines
other.
going on, I can
Little
see.
routines, yeah. So, and then I'm going to go the other way, because we have a side that we tend to favor, don't we? If you're kind of right-handed, you're more likely to go to your right side. So we need to challenge our bodies by going in different directions and using the other leg as a lead leg. If you're sitting, then march and just turn your head to one side. Or if you're standing on the spot, you know, you could just be marching to the side, to the front, and to the side. Otherwise, we're traveling today. One way. And then the other way, which is why we say, make sure you've got a clear space behind you and around you in your room. And, you know, if you want to practice at home, you could always bring another chair in and do a little figure of 8. So you might, I'm probably off camera for a lot of this, but it doesn't matter. I'm going round and then I'm going round the other way. You can practice this at home.
They are at home, babe.
I mean, when you're not with us, you can practice it in your own time. And this is working around, you know, you don't want to trip up over the chairs. You don't want to be banging into them. So it's getting your body used to where you are in that space, which is all helpful when you're out in town or doing your shopping. And making sure you're going round the other way. And if we had you face to face in class, we'd have you going up the sides of chairs and tables. Lovely. And then come to a halt. And we're going to sit down and come into some strength work. Now, we really need to continue working on stand up, sit down, turn around. Walk presses, bone loading into the wrists, bending that knee. Okay. So, and I believe we sent that out last week. It's called backward chaining. We teach you all the movements and then we reverse it to get you up off the floor. So, let me demonstrate what we're going to do today. From the side. So I'm in my back rest in my chair. I'm going to hip walk forwards. I'm going to take my feet back, press up to stand, pump my heels, step away, strongest leg, turn to face my chair. Hello, chair. Big step. This foot comes to the inside of that chair leg. The ball of your foot is about level with the chair leg. Hands come right down to the edges of the chair and nice long arms, so not bent, and hold it here. Take the weight through the heels of your hands and then we lean our body weight, sending your shoulders towards the back of the chair and release. So shoulders to chair, like chin to chair. Arms stay straight. It's not a press up.
They're all having a go, by the way.
Okay, good. If you're sitting, you could press your hands down the side on the sides of the chairs and try to lift your bottom off the chair. Okay, from here,
That's it. He's got it.
I'm going to wiggle my toes back from that leg that's behind me.
That's good, Roger.
So we're really taking time here. That back knee. So you need to have a long step here. Bend the knee as if you were going to put your knee on a pillow, cushion. If you want to drop that knee right down, you can. It does help with a cushion or a block. And then press that leg straight again. So it's a bend, straighten, bend, straighten. And then we're going to bring that foot in, either little tiny steps or a big step in. Take your time here, adjust. Breathe. Lift your heels, just gently, not gently, slowly. And then we're going to walk up You can take your hands on your legs, come up to standing, heel lift, just pushing the blood back up to your brains. Take your time, turn around. How do we sit down? Feel the chair behind both your knees. You're not looking behind you. Send your bottom back, sit down, rest. So that's how slow we're going today, okay? Now, if you're in seated, we're going to hip walk. Don't do it yet.
Hillary in the navy top. Are you okay, lovely? Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
In seated, so people who are standing have a rest. In seated, you're going to hip walk. You're going to take your feet back and either bunny hop or sit to stand, pump your heels, walk back, sit down, and the bone loading is here. Press or press the heels of the hands together. Press, press.
If you want to carry on with the wrist bone loading in the standing, crack on.
Yeah, we're coming up now. So hip walk, feet back, big push up to standing, pump those heels, other leg leads, step out, turn around. Hello, chair. Big step. So your foot is by
That's nice.
the leg of your chair. Hands come down. Grip the side of the chair, or you can make a fist if you can't hold the side of the chair. Strong shoulders here. And we're going to rock those shoulders towards the back of the chair, or think nose to chair, or shoulders really. So the back heel is lifted and you're just transferring your weight a little bit more onto that front leg. Okay. Then we hold it here. You're going to wiggle that back foot away a little bit more. And then we're going to drop that knee down, and it might be just a couple of centimeters to start with. And as you get stronger, more confident, you might be able to drop it to the floor. You might not. That's fine. We know people have sore knees, knee replacements. Just try it. So your arms stay nice and straight, nice and long. Couple of these, few of these. Then we step back in, lift the heels. We're going to come up to standing, lift the heels again. So a little heel pump, turn around, feel the chair behind your knees, stick your bottom out, sit down, feet wide, recover. So you could do any part of this at home for your homework. You can do the sit to stand. If you're up and about, you could find a little worktop and kind of just rest on, say it's higher, say it's up here. You can rest and take one foot back, and you could drop the knee. Just means your arms are higher.
Even at your sink, you know, if you're
Your
washing at your sink.
Yeah.
Put your hands here.
Lower. They won't see me there, will they?
No, no, I'll move the camera down.
So if you were at your sink,
Hang on.
if you're at your sink here, take your foot back and then just drop it. Drop your knee, or use your sink to kind of just take the weight through your wrists. We're looking at wrist bone loading, but also you load weight into your shoulders, and you can make it harder by moving your feet. So, who's the tech genius now? Are you in? No,
No, it's
okay, don't.
fallen off.
Okay, I'll come back to the chair. But you can make it harder by taking your feet further away. Okay, because then most of my weight is into my wrists rather than into my feet. We can go on the other one if you want.
Yeah.
So coming to seated into some, that is your strength element, but I do want to do a bit of arm work with you. And this one is fabulous for mobility, strength, shoulders, shoulder girdle. It's upper back strength really, but it works the whole lot, I think. So take your feet forwards and wide. and then pop your band on your thighs, and then palms up, slide those hands underneath. So your hands are about hip width distance. Tuck your elbows in to your waist. And then we're going to take the hands wide a bit. So you're adding a bit of resistance. It doesn't have to be far. You just need to feel that resistance. And then we pull the elbows back. Don't hold your breath. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Send the hands forwards. Release that resistance and drop down. Let's go again. Lift, open, pull back.
Smile.
Breathe, smile, send them forwards, release, drop down. So I love this one. It's easy to do. If you don't have a band, you can use tins. Band is great, or a pair of tights, pair of leggings.
Explain what you mean by tins.
A couple of tins, soup, beans, hold them, squeeze. Hold and squeeze the tins, and then same movement. So same movement, open out, pull the arms back, pull the elbows back. Send them forwards.
What she's saying is, whether it's tins of beans or bottles of water or resistance bands, this is all resistance work. This is what we call strength work. And the strength piece is really vital to good bone health. And when you've got good bone health, you're also producing happy hormones. So there's like a spiraling bunch of reasons why it's important to do any strength work. And I can see, David, you're using little light weights there. That's epic. So yeah, well done.
Have a rest as we're going to add on. So I need to talk to you about sets this week. And we've mentioned it before, but a set is made up of repetitions. So you've just done about 8 repeated movements. So that's your reps. And you've done 8 in one group. So you've done 1 set. And why are we telling you this? Because when you do it at home, you will know that actually in class you did 1 set of 8. At home, you might be able to do 2 sets or 3 sets of 4. It's complicated, but it just gives you an idea. So we're going to move to the second set, and let's try and do 8 again. So we're going to lift, tuck those elbows in, open, pull back. So elbows come behind you, send them forwards, release, and drop down. Now, we want control in these movements. So we lift, no juddery movements, open, pull back and squeeze the shoulder blades, send the hands forwards and let go, lower them back in or release them back in slowly, drop down, lift, open, pull back, hold and breathe, send it forward. Now, if this is too easy, send your hands closer together. If it's too hard, send your hands out a bit further. So pull back, forwards, release, lower. I think this is about 6 at the minute. How are you feeling? Now, hopefully, over the next couple of days, you won't feel it. You might feel it now, but if your muscles feel it, let us know. It's called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, which is why we need to stretch. Last one, lift, open, pull, squeeze, smile, forwards, release, drop down. Let's roll those shoulders out. Roll them out. Oh, and let's come into a stretch. Flexibility. So how do we stretch out? Actually, let's just fingers down, and if you can, just gently press on the fingers, sending the elbow up to the ceiling. So just a gentle press.
It's nice.
And then swap sides. It releases the wrist, it releases the forearm, tops of the shoulders. And then let's send the hands behind you. Either hold the chair or hands into the lower back. And then just lift your chin up to the ceiling. Have we got a photo of the participants, please?
Yeah, I've done that.
You've done it, the register. Cool. Thanks. Don't hold your breath. And then hands over the knees. I love this one. Round through the spine, chin to chest. Tuck the bottom under. So you're in like a half a semicircle. And everything's stretching along the length of your spine. So from the crown of your head in a little circle, an arc, and then come up. Okay, hand to the same shoulder, lift the elbow, walk the fingers towards the middle of your shoulder blades, give it a little nudge if you need to, and then lift through the chest. Breathe in and out. Feet go a bit wider here. If you can, arm above and then arm over your head, just a little way. Try and keep both bum cheeks on the chair and then leaning out of that stretch by coming forwards. Other hand, hand to shoulder, wiggle, jiggle, fingers towards the shoulder blades, center of the shoulder blades, give it a little nudge and then a lift through the chest. Arm comes up and then over your head. Oh, that's nice. And forwards. Excellent. And then let's stretch the legs. So one leg comes out, toes are pointing up to the ceiling. And you must be on the front third of the chair because you need to have a straight leg. So if it's bent at the knee, you're not going to stretch. Hands on the thigh, lean from the hip. So you just hinge forwards. So try and keep the spine long, not rounded. And breathe. If you can't feel a stretch, take a breath in and just lean in a little bit more. Oh, can you feel it? Just a nice stretch. So you can just feel it gently stretching the back of your thigh, the back of your knee, and then leave the heel there. Come up, wiggle off the toes, the ankle, and then squeeze the toes towards the knee. And then let's do the other side. So heel to the floor, toes point up.
Yes, speaking.
Make sure the other foot is forwards and out. Remember that base of support, especially if you're on one leg.
How can I help?
Hands on the thigh, hinge from the hip. Lovely little stretch. Now I can't feel that there at all.
Yeah.
So I'm going to breathe in and lean forwards. We don't bounce though. So just to lean until you can feel it. Oh, and then we're going to lean up, keep the heel there, relax off the foot.
I'm going to have
squeeze
to
the toes up towards the knee.
meeting to take the call. I'll check my diary. That's okay.
And then
I'll check my diary and I'll give you a call back.
Let's just drop ear to the shoulder, one side. Relax the shoulders. So drop those shoulders.
No worries.
Down.
Just to say though, this is the third
Breathe.
cancellation I've had.
And then lift up.
And
in
the last
other ear
month.
to the shoulder.
So
side.
I appreciate it's difficult for you, but I also work, so I keep taking time off and booking time
Don't
out
overstretch here,
to
just
deal
what
with it.
feels
You don't do
natural,
evening or
comfortable.
weekend appointments either. I understand.
Look up and then just slightly looking up to the ceiling. And center. Then, oh, we haven't done Tai Chi.
This is the
Let's
third
do
time
Tai
in the
Chi.
last month.
I'm going to come up to standing. You can do seated. You can be behind a chair.
Okay.
And you might go, oh, it's all a bit up and down. It's good to be a bit up and down. This is life, isn't it? This is what we need to do in life. We need to be up and down, able to sit up, stand up, move around safely. Okay, so start with your feet nice and wide. Take one foot forwards. So you're in a staggered step. We're going to bend that front knee and then take the weight to the back. So weight forwards to the front knee, weight onto the back leg. So we bend the front knee, bend the back leg. Now this might feel a bit strange. Bend the front knee, bend the back knee. And then we add in the lovely row. So fingers cup. And they just go over your knee slightly. And we pull back to the waist. And just breathe. Good. Now, you can either take this front foot back and swap feet, or you could take a step forwards. So depending on how steady you are, we step forwards and hold it. Still just rowing towards the knee and back.
They really look beautiful.
Lovely. So there's no tension in my shoulders. I'm not overstretching. I'm going to step back. So either come wide and take your other foot forwards. So coming back to that original, so wide, and start again, or just step back. So going in your own time, staying where you are, or adding that step. Up to you entirely. If you need to stay behind the chair, that's fine. You come back here and then just swap. Lots of different options. Lovely. And then step back and wide, fingertips together, lift just to your chest and press down. Breathe in as we lift, out as you press. Same in seated, lift and press.
That's lovely. Just up and down. And the movement just syncs with your breathing rhythm. They look lush.
And last one. Send your arms wide, palms up, chin lifts, and then drop your hands and roll through your shoulders. Come and take a seat. And just a couple of minutes of relaxation, breathing. So sit down properly. You can be in a full back rest. Oh, close your eyes. And just take a couple of long breaths in and out through your nose and out through your mouth. Fill your lungs up with air and breathe it all the way out. And a long breath in. And all the way out. And then just breathe normally. Sometimes it makes us feel dizzy if we breathe in deeply too many times. So just natural breath. But I want you to be aware of what happens when you take that breath in. What happens to your ribs as you breathe in to the lungs, to the base of your lungs? The lungs expand, which make the ribs move out to the front, to the side. You might feel them out towards the back of the chair. And just feel the bottom of your lungs maybe pressing down onto your diaphragm. You might not be aware. But the space that your lungs take up is important. And then just notice that breath again. Just breathe normally. Relaxing off the muscles in the face. Letting go of the tension in your face. Relaxing around the eyes, the forehead, the jaw, the tongue. Just tucking the chin in a little bit. So you've got length through the back of the neck. And just give yourself an imaginary huge pat on the back for today. We've stepped it up a gear. So you might have noticed that. You might not. Let us know. But, you know, you've worked hard. And recognize the progress you make. And then we move the toes. Just pedal the feet maybe. And move the fingers. Come up to a seated position, maybe hip walk in the chair. So you're in a lovely posture. Self-supporting spine. Roll through the shoulders. Maybe open and close the fingers. Have a big stretch. Oh, arms come down. Give yourself a round of applause. Well done. You were amazing. Please let us know how you got on. If you struggled with anything or if you're finding bits and bobs easier, let us know how you're managing at home. And thanks for joining us. We'll be back again next week for more Move More. So have a good week. Take care.